Okay, lovely people. We are 6 weeks out. I wasn't going to update you this week because I really didn't feel like I had a whole ton to talk about, but I was going to wait till 4 weeks, but I actually do have some things to talk about. So, so I am being pushed really hard. And so just thinking about my off season and what I did in the off season and how, it's taken me almost, by the end of this prep, it'll be 2 years to recover from my post show in 2021. I did that little prep last fall and I tried to coach myself, and I really pushed myself like pretty damn hard during that. But I didn't get to where I needed to be. Like, I was unconditioned on stage. It was horrible. Like, I hated every second of that competition. I hated being up there, but I forced myself to do it and get uncomfortable because I said I was going to do it. And it was an experience. I didn't know if I was ever going to step on stage again. So my legs have always been like my problem area, and I think that's a lot of women. Like, they take a long time to respond, and they take a lot of work to respond. However, I think if I would have reverse dieted correctly in 2021 and not had such a bad rebound where I got really hormonally messed up, this would have been a lot better. So I am making note of this, and I'm making a YouTube video so I do not forget post show when those cravings hit and it's hard, what I feel like right now. So, I don't want to have to go through this again. I want to reverse diet correctly, get my calories back up, get my cardio down, and not gain, I'm getting a package, not gain a ton of fat back. In this reverse dieting phenomenon where you increase calories slowly and decrease cardio slowly really does work as far as coming out of a diet phase. And so I think this, the reason I wanted to make this video is because it transfers over into a lifestyle space with dieting. When you guys diet really, really hard, maybe you're doing something crazy like super low calories, maybe even keto or something like that. You've got to come out of that right. You can't just go back to just regular eating. And I think that, even us competitors, we have the show, right? The show happens, and then it's for some people and for me in 2021, it was kind of like a free-for-all, I wouldn't say it was that bad. I hit all of my workouts. That's never been the issue. There was some binge eating going on. And I thought I had it under wraps before I went into post-show. But mentally, but I had gotten away with it kind of my other preps. So my other preps, post show, I could just eat and, follow my macros during the week and then kind of just binge and eat whatever on the weekends. And I gained a little bit of weight back, but nothing like this, and nothing hormonally what happened to me after 2020, the shows in 2021. And the reasoning for that is because I was just never lean enough. I was never conditioned enough for the stage. And the first time I was conditioned enough, that happened to me. And, that's the difference between, I guess, competing in a natural organization like the OCB and then competing in NPC. You have to come in more conditioned, more hard than, that's one of the big differences that you'll see in the two federations. So where am I trying to go with this? This is what happens to your brain too. When you're dieting down, if you don't reverse diet correctly, even on a regular lifestyle client. You know, like, I'm sure you've heard about people, you know, doing these extreme diets, and yeah, they lose like 20, 40 pounds, but then they just gain it all back and then some, and they mess themselves up hormonally. And I think women in general, women in their late 30s and 40s and 50s have chronically dieted for so long that they're kind of in this position where they can't eat like over 1,400 calories or they gain weight. And, you know, the reasoning for that is this fat overshoot or rebound phenomenon where, you know, you really screw yourself hormonally because you've dieted down and lost all this weight, and your body kind of like, your body loves homeostasis. So it's always going to down regulate its metabolism to survive off what you're giving it. So if you're only giving it, you know, 1,200 calories and you're doing tons of cardio, it's going to adapt itself to that environment so it can survive. And then if you just go back to eating, you know, like 2,500 calories, you know, or Lord forbid even more because you're binging, because you're so hungry because you've been in this crazy restrictive diet for so long, it doesn't know what to do with all of that. So it's just storing. It's like, you know, it's so confused. It's all over the place. So I just really, really want to remember how tough things are right now for me, because I'm going to tell you, like, post-show is so hard. So competitors, if you're listening to this, it's almost harder than the prep because you don't have anything to look forward to, you know, like the show or whatever. Your freaking hunger is off the charts. Your leptin is low because you have no body fat. And that's your hormone that tells you you're full. It's actually stored in our fat cells. So you can just eat and eat and eat and eat and eat and never feel that, like, fullness feeling like you're after. So really got to just listen to your coach and take it slow, as hard as it is, because I don't want to be doing this shit again. I don't ever want to be 12 weeks, you know, more than 12 weeks out from a show. I don't ever want to be having to do all this to get the fat off my legs. Again, you know, obviously I'm going to get some fat back on my legs. Like, that's just where I carry it. So there will be some, but hopefully I can minimize that by, you know, being smart this time around. So I hope, you know, even if you guys don't compete, I hope that helps you, and kind of understand, you know, why people gain weight back and then some when they're, you know, after they go through a diet. So having a coach, even for a lifestyle space, is super important to kind of help you through that transition. And, you know, if you're with me, we don't really get that extreme with the diet part anyway. So the reverse is not necessarily, you know, as difficult as it would be like post-show for a competitor. Or, you know, if somebody comes to me and they're eating keto or something like that and their calories are really, really low, you know, and they've been consistent with it, that's the big thing. You know, I would take them through a reverse diet. Or somebody that's like, doesn't need to lose any, you know, is in a good place, doesn't really need to lose any body fat, you know, we go straight into a reverse diet. And I've had a couple ladies like that, you know, that they're just genetically, you know, built with a smaller frame and less body fat. And we've just kind of only increased their food. We've never decreased their food. And they actually end up like dropping body fat throughout the process. So just because your coach tells you you have to reverse diet and you're a lifestyle client, don't take that as you're going to gain a ton of body fat or like you're frustrated because you don't get to diet. It's for a reason, you know, and doesn't mean that you're going to gain any weight throughout the process. You're probably going to gain muscle mass throughout the process. So, you know, don't take that as a negative thing. It's actually a positive thing. And yeah, I plan on remembering this shit because this shit sucks really fucking bad and I don't want to do it again. All right. 6 weeks. Peace out.